sign with movie theaters, bowling alleys, horseback riding, bicycle riding academies. Swedish and Russian bands were very popular. It also
No, it's a video. It's a video. Mom, are you sure?
Got him in a video for you.
Stones. My name is Nova, and I'll be your ghost. Please don't do that. My name is Nova, and I'll be your ghost host tonight on our descent into the darker side of the nation's oldest city. Now, before I go any further, did everyone have a chance to take a look around Cromwell's parlor, Paranormal Curiosities?
Okay, well, I can't.
There are Ghosts and Gravestones toured just like this one, or over the old jail after dark. If you're scrolling through your pictures later and you happen to notice something not quite natural, and we encourage you to post them up on your social media with the hashtag Ghosts and Gravestones. Someone from our team will find these pictures, assess them, if your picture is found. When you're taking your spectral photography this evening, we built this place, we made sure once those doors were closed, there was just a one way in and one way out.
This is 1934.
We left a riddle behind. That way we could find our way out of here. Would you guys like to give it a try? Alright.
No.
That look, you have a lot of books in here. Would you try with that? Oh, this one looks promising. A farewell to arms. And a farewell to us. Follow me, everyone, to the trial of the do.
Mom, hold my hand.
Are we going to be in the back? Let's just go in the back.
Dude, I swear I saw her.
No.
You saw the witch?
Yes, I just saw her.
Wait.
I swear I'm not tripping.
On it, each grave holds upwards of a dozen bodies. These were plague pits, people. And back during the yellow fever epidemic, the fence that surrounds the Huguenot today was not there. The burials extended all the way up to the Castillo di San Marcos. For over 200 years now, the people of St. Augustine have been walking, riding, driving, picnicking on mass graves. Funny thing though, the most active resident of this stretch of land does not actually hang out in the cemetery. She prefers the city gates to our left. Back during the yellow fever epidemic, the gatekeeper of St. Augustine and his young daughter both caught the disease and died, but Elizabeth was a child and she wasn't ready to go yet. So she didn't. Instead, she decided to stick around. These days, people passing by the city gates often report seeing the figure of a young girl in period dress waving at them. They wave back, of course, because she's a child, and that's the law, but when they go into a local store or restaurant to ask about the cute little historical reenactor at the city gates, the locals tell them that there is no historical reenactor Elizabeth's age in town. If you're ever passing through the city gates and you feel it's not a Spanish word, what's the name of the chief of the village that was here prior to St. Augustine becoming a Spanish colony? And before this was a Spanish Catholic cemetery, it was a Native American burial ground, which means just like over at the Huguenot, it is bodies on top of bodies here at Telemonto Cemetery, or as I like to call it, the St. Augustine's.
Serves made up of grain alcohol, water, and opium. Yeah, not. Patients did not take well to these concoctions. More often than not, they would be found in a death-like state. Because their families weren't taking them to medical professionals, they'd be declared dead, buried, come to in their own graves, heart attacks and die. So, at least they were in the right place. But this was happening so often that eventually a new invention was patented. A wonderful invention known as the safety coffin. The safety coffin was truly a miraculous thing. It was an actual coffin that was below ground. And then above ground, there was a headstone with a bell on it. Now here is where the safety part comes in. Between the headstone and the coffin, there's a stone column with a rope inside. The rope is attached to both the bell on the headstone and the person in the coffin. It was tied to the hand, wrist, and ankle, and at any point someone should awaken within their grave and start moving around, the bell would ring. Now, if this happened during the day, there were plenty of people around to rescue them, but
In addition, as we're passing by James's tree and his grave, let's just say, and I hope that guy isn't named James. That would be awkward.
Right there.
Oh, shoot.
A name I know y'all have seen all over town that I've yet to mention on this tour is Henry Flagler. Henry Flagler first came to St. Augustine as a tourist back in the days when doctors were still prescribing tuberculosis sufferers with fresh air and sunshine as a way of managing the illness. Not for Mr. Flagler himself, mind you, but for his wife. So the Flaglers and Mrs. Flagler's personal nurse all came down to St. Augustine from New York, and they just fell in love with this place. So much so that Mr. Flagler decided he was going to put up some hotels to try and lure his rich friends down to St. Augustine. Sadly, Mrs. Flagler would not live to see any of her husband's hotels open, and in the grand tradition of a Victorian man in mourning, he married her personal nurse. The new Mrs. Flagler, a young woman named Ida Alice, was a unique character with some interesting hobbies. First off, she was addicted to opium, which I'm aware is not a hobby, but she sure did do it a lot, so I figured I'd bring it up. Secondly, she was obsessed with spiritualism. If you don't know what that is, that's when a person uses some sort of a conduit, be it a spiritual medium, a pendulum, or Ida Alice's favorite, a Ouija board, to try and contact the beyond. Well, one night, Ida Alice was here in the Hotel Constellation playing with her Ouija board, when all of a sudden she got a response. The spirit said, "Ida, girl, Henry Flagler is not your true love. Your true love lies somewhere across the sea, and you must go to him. But getting to him is going to cost you some money. You should kill your husband to get it." So she tried, and she failed. But for the attempt, Mr. Flagler decided to put her into a mental institution for the rest of her days. And sadly, I do mean that literally. She would go on to die in there. But instead of shuffling off this mortal coil and into the great beyond, Ida Alice returned to the place she once loved so much, and an only spirit haunting these hallowed halls. If you go looking for him, you might just be able to find the man himself. Henry Flagler's wake was held in the rotunda of the Constellation Hotel, the big round room at the front with those big old doors. Well, during the wake, a huge gust of wind blew around the rotunda, causing those doors to slam shut. And it said that the sound was so thunderous, people actually thought the building had been struck by lightning. Later, the custodians were cleaning up. They noticed on the floor there seemed to be a new tile, one that bore a striking resemblance to Mr. Flagler himself. Now, if you know what you're looking for and where to look for it, the tile have gone on to report that afterwards their luck went. They resealed the casket, they dropped it back into the ground, and today Bishop Merlot rests in Telefonto Cemetery in peace. Don't hold your breath, folks. The jokes do not get better from here. Straight ahead of us, we're going to be able to see the better. Fishermen have been known to look out over the sides of their boats to see the disembodied eyes and faces of the British soldiers, beckoning them to join them in the deep. Hopefully no one's the Augustine's most notable landmark, the Castillo de San Marcos. The Castillo de San Marcos is an ancient structure indeed. It was built by the Spanish, briefly occupied by the English, and when it became a U.S. territory back in 1821, not to be confused with the time it became a state in 1845, the Castillo became known as the Castillo became an American military prison. From 1820 1851 through 1942, the Castillo was known as Fort Marion, and in the 1830s it was being run by an officer named Sergeant Tuttle. Sergeant Tuttle decided one day that he didn't like the way the cannons on the gun deck were arranged, so he had his...
Howdy, y'all. Name's Charlie. Charlie, I'm a history book coming in here acting like they know this place. What they keep this is fine. But since they're gone, cover it! I'm just kidding. I'm too old. Don't do that again. Well, on behalf of me and my boon companions, I'm about to tell you about all 8 hands that happened. The man here in the center, that's some good extra.
But it was more for self-righteous defects. I went to a bar, I wasn't feeling too good one day. I overheard a man talking about my wife. I love my wife. He was talking all these unsavory and mean things about her.